Alright. You wanna dance? Yeah? Alright. Here she comes now, singing moaning, moaning. Shoot it up, come on, moaning, moaning. Hey, she looks good, now I feel alright now. going to take me? Maybe not that fairly far. I tell myself I won't get astray. I believe it's gonna be hard. So I look across the main, pick a point for out of sight. Over me comes the rain, and I'll be gone within a night. I'm looking for ways over water. I'm looking for ways to go. I'm looking for ways over water. I'm looking for ways back home. I'm looking for ways over water. I'm looking for ways to go. I'm looking for ways over water. I'm looking for ways back home. I ain't afraid of leaving, and all those things I left behind. Most of them ain't meant to last. That mine, tired of market time.
Wenige Minuten, meine sehr geehrten Damen und Herren, bis zum Young Rider, Preis der Nationen von Österreich. Eine Springprüfung in 2 Umläufen über 1,45 Meter. Der Parcours vom Parcourschef Franz Madl führt über 12 Hindernisse, 15 Sprünge. Die Bahn ist 495 Meter lang. Die erlaubte Zeit 80 Sekunden. 5 Teams am Start im Young Rider Nations Cup of Linz. So, ladies and gentlemen, the next class, Young Rider FEI Nations Cup of Linz, the international competition over 1 meter and 45. The competition over 2 rounds. The course in this class is 495 meters long, over 12 obstacles and 15 efforts. Is the time allowed 80 seconds. We have now 5 teams in this class on the list.
Ohne Sorgen, 24 Stunden, 7 Tage.
Und wir heißen herzlich willkommen den Präsidenten des Oberösterreichischen Pferdesportverbandes, Herrn Richard Griechbaumer. Herzlich willkommen.
Dass die Zeit reif ist, um jetzt zu gehen. Ich wünsch dir noch ein richtig geiles Leben. Denn wie du dich veränderst, will ich mir nicht geben.
Ich wünsch dir noch ein geiles Leben. Mit knallharten Champagnerfäden. Mit Fake-Figures, dicken Wellen und Sonnenbrillen. Ich seh doch ganz genau, was du eigentlich was
5 Teams, die Schweiz, Polen, Deutschland, Italien und zum Schluss Österreich hier im Preis der Nationen der jungen Reiter am Start. Die Schweiz nur mit 3 Reiter am Start, somit eröffnet Polen.
50 Wochen, alle Gläser sind zerbrochen, zwischen denen du nichts findest. Merkst du nicht, dass auch du langsam verschwindest? Ich hab ne Weile gebraucht, um zu verstehen. Es geht nicht darum, was andere in dir sehen.
Erster Umlauf im
A warmest of welcomes from perhaps the wettest of days, but nevertheless, do not let it dampen your enthusiasm for what is coming your way. Live with you here this afternoon. Delighted to have you alongside us in Linz and live here for this FEI Youth Nations Cup. It is time for the young riders. The fourth and final Nations Cup about to get underway here with you in Austria. And teams, well, we have teams involved in this class from Switzerland, Poland, Germany, Italy, and from Austria too. We're going to start, though, with Poland. The Swiss team will come into play a little bit later on, but they have 3 riders only, so therefore they are missing out on the opening rotation. So we're going to start with Alexandra Kironowska riding Iron Man as the first to go around this course. Time allowed for your information is set at 80 seconds, and this is a jockey who has had plenty of experience in youth championships, from children to juniors and then young riders. A couple of years ago in Spain as part of the teams. In fact, as in the Children's Europeans back in 2017. She finished individually inside the top 10 and was part of a team bronze medal. This course certainly giving them plenty to think about. Total of 15 different jumping efforts. And the wall, which we've seen cause 1 or 2 a little bit of bother over the course of the day so far, but it was jumping the other way, has certainly come as a bit of a surprise coming that way as well. And sadly the stop there, although she's recovered really, really well, and the conditions certainly not making it easy either. Pushing on towards the last, and they're still actually, although they've had another fence, going to get inside the time despite the stop. So that quick recovery, very, very well done. But unfortunately, with 2 fences going down, it is a score of 8. So there's the first mark on the board, and it's the first of the scores for Poland, but at least unlike Switzerland, they have the advantage of having the extra rider. So now we move on to Team Germany. Of course, this is Moritzbaum. All in 10 is the name of this horse. There's the wonderful sound of the bell. It's like a church bell, isn't it, ringing? And as an individual to the youth show in France a few weeks back. First Young Riders Nations Cup. And unfortunately, the first fence going down for Moritz. Well, they finish, as you can see, with just the 4 for the first to go, and it is just this fence coming out of the combination. Well, Italy, fresh off the back of a win in the juniors with that success already today. Laura Miccolboni will get things started in the young riders here with Mocca 43. Those to come forward. Just waiting for them to head our way. You can see the warm-up out the back there. Interesting to see how this evolves over the course of this competition. There's 2 full rounds of jumping. We'll have the individuals in the middle. Focusing in on this partnership then. Laura Miccoboni and Mocha 43 up next. Quick look at the tack, making sure everything is as she wants it, just settling in. Been jumping at the start of this year with this horse at 3-star level in Arezzo in Italy. They were part of the Nations Cup team last year as well in Zurich. Certainly off to a good start here for the Italian team. Certainly been notable over the show so far that the Italian youth very strong here in Austria. Coming down to the water. So far so good. This final line though still to contend with, or I should say final jump to contend with, and she's jumped that for the clear. So Italy give us the first of the clear rounds here in this Young Riders FEI Jumping Nations Cup for the youth. And they are going to hope to try and make it a double here on this fabulous Friday of sport from Austria. Well, we move on to the Austrian team as the next to go. The home team up next, which is in fact the final part of this opening rotation of riders. This is Elizabeth Kennis riding Cancun 18. Austria trying to get off and running to a strong start. This is a jockey that has ridden on the Young Riders team at the Europeans with this horse last year, and also in fact in 2021 at the Junior Europeans in Portugal. He's a strong pony rider as well. Be lovely to see an Austrian team be able to get to the top of the podium here while competing on home soil. Round they come then. Back to this double. Delicate little plank going in with the parallel coming out. Across this angle to the water. She's really had to put her legs on there, stretching out over the open water. But then you need the control.
Eine Fehlerfreirunde, Elisabeth Knaus und Cancun für Österreich. 76,46 Sekunden. Clears 76.46 seconds for Austria. Und dann das erste Bar für das Team der Schweiz. Kanna geritten von Jonas Diefenauer, representing Switzerland.
Well, there we have on course now Jonas Tiefenauer for the Swiss with this ride. Canan the fifth. Round they come towards the last, and despite having just 3 riders, if you've got 3 that can do just that, you can certainly still be in contention. And the Swiss, lovely big jump over the water, just squeezing over that back line. So they do indeed land the clear round for Switzerland. So they've started strongly despite having all the scores over to count, adding a little bit of pressure. Now, that's 3 clears so far, 3 in a row actually, with Italy, Austria, and now the Swiss going clear as well. Next up, we turn to the second of the Polish riders who picked up 8 with their first. This is Natalia Sidio riding Nico Gold. Was on the Nations Cup team that finished 5th with this ride last week in the Czech Republic. He also won a really good individual class at Centaur in Belgium at the youth event there in April. Really positive riding down to that wall. No, I think that's just gone. She's just dragged the front rail away. It has indeed. Well, they finish on the 4. It is just that one fence that goes down, but it does mean that Poland move on to a best potential score of 4, with Natalia Sido there and Nico Gold being the second of the Polish team riders to compete in this FEI Jumping Nations Cup Youth Young Rider event. So next to go will be Germany, who have already had their first pick up a score of 4. So they're next to go. Just picking up the canter there is Sofia Berotov riding Jazz de Thin.
You feel hopeless, like nothing can save you. And when it's over and it's gone, you almost wish that you could have
Last jumped on a Nations Cup team. Oh dear, that's gone early in the course. As I say, she last jumped on a Nations Cup team in Italy in April of 2022. Getting the chance again though today, and sadly 2 fences, 3 fences going, means that Germany will also move on to a score of 4 as this becomes the discard. 20 it is as they cross the finish line for the second of the riders for Germany, which, as I say, for the moment doesn't change the score beyond the 4, but it puts a big discard into play that they need to be very careful about with their remaining 2 riders that we'll see a little later, Sebastian Honold and Carlotta Terhorst. Meanwhile, we turn to Italy, and of course Italy and Austria both delivering clears straight out the box with their opening riders. Now Lorenzo Petresi riding Gentleman H. First international outing of this year for these two. Unfortunately, that earlier fence going down. This is their Nations Cup debut together. He last rode on a team when he was at the Children's Europeans back in 2018 when he was called Velvet. These two have jumped well in the last couple of years, though. But with that 8 scored, Italy can, yes, well, they'll still stay on the 0 for the moment. But the plank has gone, going into the double. I'm surprised that hasn't caused more an issue really, but the plank very, very delicately placed off that turn. Inside on the clock, but it is 12 scored for Italy's second rider. So we're just finishing there, Lorenzo Petresi and Gentleman H. At the moment, after 2 riders, Italy still could yet finish on 0. The bell for the final rider in the second rotation in this back to the Austrian team, who of course here at home have already seen a clear round delivered from Elisabeth Ganus. Now David Gorton-Hulgerth riding Esprit. On 3 European teams already for Austria, including twice for children, and in 2021 he rode on the Pony European Championship team. It's their first Nations Cup performance this season. Jumping very, very well at the minute, but coming round to the plank, keeping a good eye on it on the approach, and unfortunately it's gone. It's a good jump over the water. You have such a long run to that plank. Well, it's cost them a score of 4. So for the moment, though, Austria still on 0, because they'll hold the 4 as a discard. So after 2 riders have gone in each team, of course, Switzerland are the exception. They've only had 1 rider because of only having 3 in the team. But as that rider went clear, Switzerland, Italy and Austria could still yet finish the opening round on a score of 0 if their remaining riders leave them up. Then we've got Poland and Germany on 4. So we move our attention from Austria now to Switzerland. And this is Ruben Beck riding Konako. The second rider of this team of 3. Oh, the wall coming as a bit of a surprise. Haven't seen it. These horses, it's been hidden away the last couple of days, and then it's come out for the juniors and young riders. And just one or two finding it a little bit daunting on the first approach. It's a good jump over it on the second, but of course that 4 counts, and they now need to just have a little bit of thought towards the time. Now we do know you can get away with a stop and still get in on the clock, but you certainly can't get away with a second fence falling, and that moves the team onto a score of 8.
Das sind 18 Fehlerpunkte insgesamt, 10 davon für Zeitüberschreitung, 89,41 Sekunden. 18 penalties including 10.
So their final score of 18 for Rubin, with the time coming into play, moves the score on to 18 for the team.
Chetulon van der Ritven, geritten von Lena Maruszczak, representing Poland.
So Poland next, who could still finish on a 4. They're holding a discard of 8. And this is the turn of Lena Maruszczak, riding here with Chetulon van der Ritven. Brilliant round at the moment for the Polish team. And making sure they stay in the hunt here. Lena and Chetulon getting ever closer. They're one fence away from a clear round here. Really sits back, holds the horse off the rail, and there we have it. Clear round for Poland. So their third rider gives them their first clear, and it means for the team they can hold on to that 8 penalty discard, and they stay on a best potential score of 4. So well done to them.
Deutschland jetzt mit Lacrosse von Lord Kidam Sebastian Hornold, representing
Germany. Now Germany, who could yet finish on a score of 4, but have a discard being held of 20. So Sebastian Honold now with Lacrosse 10 as their third rider, which could make quite an impact one way or the other on their score in the opening round. Jumped on the Nations Cup team last year that finished on the podium in Lomprachausen. Germany, who needed the clear, they haven't had one yet. We'll be keeping everything crossed. Will it be for Sebastian, Hunold and Lacrosse. Of course it will. Well done, Germany. Making sure as well that they keep that 20 that they have as a discard well away from the scorecard and stay on a best potential outcome of 4, just like Poland. Those clear rounds for Germany there with Sebastian, and the Polish clear from Lena, absolutely vital and have come at just the right moment. Now, though, it is Italy. They, of course, could yet still finish this opening round on a score of 0, but they are holding a 12 penalty discard. Their third rider, Tommaso Arica and Heavy Plot.
And 12 so far, Italy.
Nicely, Tommaso and Heavy Plot through the combination. Well, just like we saw with Poland and Germany, the third rider in the team here for Italy, when they're called upon and a big round is needed, a big round is delivered. It's a clear round for Tommaso as he lands over the last, and it's keeping Italy on a potential 0 score. So some excellent riding.
Das dritte Paar für die österreichische Equipe ist bei uns Montevideo, geritten von Hanna Eckerer, representing...
Well, Hanna Eckerer now riding Montevideo 7. This is the final rider in this third rotation. The third rider from each of the teams is here with Hanna Eckerer, Austria, who here at home have a still the best potential outcome of 0, but are holding only a 4 penalty score as a discard. Sadly, with the 8, it has pushed Austria onto the same score as Poland and Germany, and it's given Italy the advantage. Still plenty of jumping left, but it's going to be the case after 3. So it is a score of 8 for rider number 3 for the Austrian team here at home. So they will hold that as a discard. They're going to have to count the 4 from David. But of course that clear from Elizabeth Canis, getting them off to a great start. So after 3 riders, Switzerland 18, Poland, Germany and Austria 4 and Italy 0. So we come now to the final rider to go in each each of these teams, and it's going to be Thierry Wagner, Chica Bottino, Chica Benito there for the third and final rider of this team, where all the scores are having to count today. Well, the clear round and a performance to be proud of. Hagadu, but it is 18 though for the Swiss team. That middle round of their trio of riders has unfortunately cost them perhaps too many faults to be able to fight for the top, despite having 2 clears. Never easy when you have that team of 3. You're always having to count them all, and sometimes you need a discard. Look at Germany at the moment, they're holding a 20 as a discard. But this is Poland, and they're holding 8 as a discard, which means at worst they would finish on 12, but they could yet still finish on 4 if this partnership goes clear. It is Nikolai Baranski here and Koranan.
Akt 4 und 0 Punkte bisher.
Oh, they've got too deep into the middle of the combination. They're not going to be able to get out from there. Just that little misstep after the first element of the combination, and then once they had run out of the momentum, you could see the sort of encouragement to try and continue and go forward. But now the bell sounds. An 8 on the scorecard, so Poland will finish on that 12 penalty score, despite what's happening here with Nikolai Baranski and Kornan. He's got the horse going nicely again, but clock is ticking on. He might still get inside the time allowed. I'm not sure if they've added the 6 seconds in already or not, but that's gone. Over the last, and only just sneaks inside the time allowed, so that is a score of 20. It'll be the discard score, and as I say, Poland will wrap up the opening round on a score of 12.
223,15 Sekunden. The total score after the first round for Poland, 12 points. 223.15 seconds.
Well, Germany next to go, who are still
Mit Chakalaka D. Charlotte Derhurst.
It's Carlotta Teros now and Jakalaka T. Germany, who currently reside on a score of 4 in this opening round, but at the disadvantage of having a 20 penalty discard, and that will count. Now, with that fence going down right at the start for these two, what a shame for the German team. That'll move them on to 8, and of course, now going to have to be ultra careful because as fences fall, they just get to add on to the score.
Nothing's ever what we expect, but they keep asking where we're going next. All we're chasing is the sunset. Got my mind on you. Doesn't matter where we are.
Great to see the way Carlotta, though, has been able to not let that opening fence falling over her too much, although the plank has gone now to score 8. Big jump at the water. If they just clip that, the judge is going to go and have a look. We'll find out in a moment, but they're coming into the last on a score of 8. Crossing the line with 8 there for Charlotte Therost and Chakalaka T. So that score of 8, as I said, it is going to count, which means that the team move on to a team score of 12. So that puts them level with Poland. You know, it makes the podium battle looking even a little bit more interesting, and even the Swiss only on 18. They're not far off it, but we now have Italy, who've got 2 clears, and they're holding a discard of a 12. I mean, they could fall back onto the same score at worst as Germany and Poland. That would tie them all up level. You know, there's even a way that Austria walk out of this on a score of 12, depending what happens. That'll be interesting if we have 4 teams all tied equal going into round 2. I'm not sure it'll work out that way. Will it? We don't know. We've seen 2 clears from the Italians. Now it's Martina Simoni riding Berardo as their 4th and final rider in the opening round. On the 4. That counts to move the team for Italy now on to a 4 penalty score. They were the only team that could have finished on a 0. It brings them level with Austria. Of course, Austria with another rider to come. And they were overbalanced, I feel. They were just getting a bit nervous coming to the plank. Safe over the water. Jumps the last and just squeezes in on the clock, and only just. So that score is 8, and that means Italy are on a score of 8. It does still keep them with a 4 penalty advantage over Germany and Poland, but what could have been a much wider margin has shrunk down considerably, and it does now allow the home team from Austria the chance to perhaps take a lead going into the second round. To do that, they need a clear round. At worst, they're going to be on 12 because they're discarding an 8 currently. And this then is Martina Simoni. Sorry, that was Martina Simoni. This is, of course, Thomas Hüllemanier riding Papillon d'Azur that goes next.
Babylon Dressur, geritten von Thomas
Last rider out in
Rübrigen, Austria.
this round for
084
Austria. Last rider in the
Österreich.
opening round. Final rider. What an important moment this is. I said Austria haven't yet had a win over the 3 previous Nations Cups. And this is going to try and put them in pole position going into that second round of jumping. Either which way, it's going to be ultra close. It's only going to be 1 or 2 fences separating everybody. Jumps the final fence. It is 4, but only 4, and that means that the team for Austria will tie at the top going into the second round a little bit later on. It is 2 teams on 8, Austria and Italy, 2 teams on 12, Germany and Poland. Don't discount the Swiss, they're on 18, but as things happen in the blink of an eye in this sport, things will change. We know that. So let's wait and see how it all unfolds. The next round will come up after the individuals here. Of course, the individuals coming your way next. And 3:45 this afternoon. No, am I all right or wrong at that time? I will double check. But we don't have too many individuals, and then we'll be moving on. I'm looking at the wrong day, that's why. Yeah, it is 3:45 for the second round of the young riders. We'll be back. Will it be Austria? Will it be Italy? Could it be Germany? Could it be Poland? Or will the Swiss find their way back up into the mix too? We'll find out soon.
Die Startreihenfolge im zweiten Umlauf, somit in gestützter Reihenfolge zum Ergebnis des ersten Umlaufs. Es beginnt die Schweiz mit 18 Punkten. Als zweites sehen wir im entscheidenden zweiten Umlauf Polen mit 12. Dann die Startnummer 3 Deutschland mit 12. Als viertes Team Italien mit 8 und zum Schluss mit 8 Punkten das führende Team nach dem ersten Umlauf Österreich. The starting order, the second round, Switzerland, Poland, Germany, Italy and Austria. Um 15 Uhr geht es weiter mit den Einzelreitern im Preis der Firma Optifood. 15 Uhr die Einzelreiter und um 15:45 Uhr pünktlich dann die Entscheidung, der zweite Umlauf im Nationenpreis der jungen Reiter.
enjoy the silence.
If you're not the one for me, then I'll come and bring you to your knees. If you're not the one for me, why do I hate the idea of being free? And if I'm not the one for you, you've gotta stop holding me the way you do. No, honey, if I'm not the one for you, why have we been through what we have been through? It's so cold down here in your wilderness. Now on you to be my keeper, but not if you were so reckless. If you're gonna let me down gently. Don't pretend that you don't want me. I'll love me water under the breeze. If you're gonna let me down gently. Don't pretend that you don't want me. I'll love me water under the breeze. Say that I love me water under the breeze. What waiting for? You never seem to make it through the door. Hiding from? It ain't no life to live like you're on the run. Have I asked for much? The only thing that I want is your love. If you're gonna let me down gently. Don't pretend that you don't want me. I love me water under the breeze. If you're gonna let me down gently. Don't pretend that you don't want me. I love me water under the breeze. Say that I love me water under the breeze. It's so cold in your wilderness. Now on you to be my eye, but not if you were so reckless. If you're gonna let me down gently. Don't pretend that you don't want me. I love me water under the breeze. If you're gonna let me down gently. Don't pretend that you don't want me. I love me water under the breeze.
Young Rider Individuals, meine Damen und Herren, präsentiert von der Firma Opti Fotovideo von einer Metton 45, gerichtet nach Fehlerpunkten und Zeit. Die erlaubte Zeit in dieser Prüfung beträgt 80 Sekunden, time allowed 80 seconds. Over 12 obstacles and 15 efforts. 9 haben sich eintragen lassen in die Startliste und wir erwarten Carsteviro Z von Carmina Z mal Staccato und Vittoria Scognamiglio aus Italien, Italy. Und es sind die beiden Carsteviro Z und Vittoria Scognamiglio aus Italien, Italy.
There are times when I look above and beyond. There are times when I feel your love around. I'll never forget my baby. I'll never forget you. There are times when I look above and beyond. There are times when I feel your love around me, baby. I'll never forget my baby. When I feel that I don't belong, drawn to
Schade, der zweimalige Ungehorsam des Pferdes führte leider zum Ausscheiden, eliminated for the second disobedience.
deeper inside your baby. Dream about us together again. What I want is together again, baby. I know we'll be together again.
Und weiter geht's mit Escoeli und Carla Vanco für Österreich.
Smiling back at me, dancing in moonlight. I know you are free, 'cause I can see your star shining down on me. Together again, time will share again. Together again, makes me wanna dance. See it loud and proud. All my love's
Esqueli und Carla Vanko, es sind 8 Fehlerpunkte, 77,09 Sekunden, 8 Penalties, Time 77.09 Seconds. Die Siegerehrung dieser Prüfung wird dann wieder ohne Pferd neben der Meldestelle beim Präsentationsstand der Firma Fixkraft stattfinden. So, ladies and gentlemen, the prize giving ceremony of this class will be without horse at the sales stand of Fixkraft near the show office. Und da kommt Idessa zu uns und wird geritten von Emma Invernizzi aus Italien, Italy.
Everywhere I go, every smile I see, I know you are there, smiling back at me, dancing in the moonlight. I know you are free, 'cause I can see your star shining down on me. Everywhere I go, every smile I see, I know you are there, smiling back at me, dancing in the moonlight. I know you are free, 'cause I can see your star shining down on me.
Wir dürfen noch einmal nachfragen, ob hier ein Fehler am Wassergraben gewesen ist. Mr. Faker, was there a fault on the water? Da sind 25 Punkte, 13 für Zeitüberschreitung, 92,74, 25 points, 13 for time, 92.74 seconds. Und jetzt kommt La Pepper, Westfale von Leighton und Giuseppe Genuardi aus Italien, Italy.
It sounds so nice.
Das sind 8 Fehlerpunkte an den Hindernissen, Wasserfehler mit eingerechnet, 14 für Zeit, 22 gesamt in 93,7, 722, Penalties 14 for time in 93.77 seconds. Und da kommt die K-No Limit und von Dinken und wird geritten von Stefania Stojka-Schumann aus Rumänien. Die K-No Limit und Stefania Stojka-Schumann, 8 Fehlerpunkte, 73,46, it's 8 penalties in 73.46 seconds. Und da ist der Cool Cheryl und Pietro Meucci aus Italien, Italy. Cool Cheryl und Pietro Meucci ohne Fehler und 78,65 clear, 78.65 seconds in the lead. Prize giving without horse next to the show office. Und da kommt Sid James WSZ in den Zangerseite gezogen, 10-jähriger Hengst und Federica Nulli aus Italien, Italy. 4 Punkte sind und 74,48 Sekunden. C. James WSZ und Federica no leads 4 penalties in 74.48 seconds. Und da kommt der Chester Blue Oldenburg International, 13-jähriger Waller von Jaco Blue mit Cecilia Bossi aus Italien, Italy. ...16 Punkte an den Hindernissen, 15 für Zeit, 31 gesamt, 94,38 Chester Blue und Cecilia Bossi, 31 points, 15 for time, 94.38 seconds. Abgeschlossen wird vom 13-jährigen Iren Altivo von VDL Arkansas und Cora Dieringer, Österreich, Austria last to go.
Hey there, people, I'm Bobby Brown. They say I'm the cutest boy in town. My car is fast, my teeth are shiny. I tell all the girls they can kiss my hiney. Here I am at a famous school. I'm dressing sharp and I'm acting cool. I got a cheerleader here, wants to help with my paper. Let her do all the work and maybe later I'll rape her. Oh God, I am the American dream. I do not think I'm too extreme, and I'm a handsome son of a bitch. I'm gonna get a good job and be real rich. Get a good. Women's liberation came creeping all across the nation. I tell you people, I was not ready when I fucked this dyke by the name of Freddie. She made a little speech then, all she tried to make me say when she had my balls in a vice, but she left the dick.
Schade, Altivo und Cora Dieringer müssen leider ausscheiden, eliminated for the second disobedience. Somit entschieden diese Prüfung. Pietro Miucci gewinnt vor Federica Nolli und Stefania Stoiker. Schumann, das sind die besten 3 Sieger. Und wie gesagt, ohne Pferd neben der Meldestelle Prize Giving. Next to the show office at the sales stand of Fixkraft.
I jingle my change, but I'm still kinda cute. Got a job doing radio promo, and none of the jocks can even tell I'm a homo. Eventually, me and a friend sorta drifted along into S&M. I can take about an hour on the Tower of Power, as long as I get a little golden shower. Oh God, I am the American American dream. With a spindle up my butt till it makes me scream. And I'll do anything to get ahead. I'll lay awake nights saying thank you, Fred. Oh God, I'm so fantastic. Thanks to Freddie, I'm a sexual spastic. And my name is Bobby Brown. Watch me now, I'm going down. And my name is Bobby Brown. Watch me now, I'm going down. And my name is Bobby Brown. Watch me now, I'm going down.
Yeah, I knew you'd be surprised.
Sitting in the morning sun, I'll be sitting when the evening comes, watching the ships roll in, then I'll watch them roll away again. Yeah, I'm sitting on the dock of the bay, watching the tide roll away. Ooh, I'm just sitting on the dock of the bay, wasting time. I left my home in Georgia, headed for the Frisco Bay, 'cause I've had nothing to live for, and look like nothing's gonna come my way. So I'm just gonna sit on the dock of the bay, watching the tide roll away. Ooh, I'm sitting on the dock of the bay, wasting time.
Und um 15:45 Uhr, also in gut 20 Minuten, geht dann der FEI Jumping Nations Cup Youth der Young Riders in die zweite Runde. So the second round of the Young Riders Nations Cup will start 3:45.
So I guess I'll remain the same. Listen, sitting here resting my bones, and this loneliness won't leave me alone. Listen, 2,000 miles I roam just to make this dock my home. Now I'm just gonna sit at the dock of the bay, watching the tide roll away. Ooh, I'm sitting on the dock of the bay, wasting time.
Ja, was passiert heute noch, meine Damen und Herren, im Rahmen des FEI Jumping Nations Cup Youth in Linz-Ebelsberg? Wir erwarten, wie gesagt, um 15:45 Uhr die zweite Runde des Young Rider Preis der Nationen und dann um 17:35 Uhr die Children Small Tour und den Preis der Firma Equitron, eine internationale Zwei-Phasen-Springprüfung. Da haben sich einmal 30 eintragen lassen in die Startliste. Und dann heute Abend nicht zu vergessen, ab 20:30 Uhr die Riders Party in der Schloss Taverne. So the second round of the FEI Jumping the Nations Cup Youth of the Young Riders will take part at 3:45, followed by the Children's Small Tour in two phases. 35 minutes past 5, and at 8:30 this evening there will be the Riders Party in the Schloss Taverne.
We don't have to worry about nothing. 'Cause we got the fire and we burning one hell of a something. They're gonna see us from outer space, light it up like we're the stars of the human race. When the lights turning down, they don't know what they heard. Strike the march, play it loud, giving love to the world. We'll be raising our hands, shining up to the sky. 'Cause we got the fire. Yeah, we got the fire. And we're gonna let it burn. We're gonna let it burn. Gonna let it burn. We're gonna let it burn. We don't wanna leave. No, we just wanna be right now. Right now. And what we see is everybody's on the floor acting crazy, getting loco till the lights out. Music's on, I'm waking up. We start the fire, and we don't need love. And we're sober now, we got the love. There's no sleeping now, no sleeping now. When the lights turn down, they don't know what they heard. Strike the march, play it loud, giving love to the world. We'll be raising our hands, shining up to the sky. 'Cause we got the fire. Yeah, we got the fire. And we're gonna let it burn. We're gonna let it burn. Gonna let it burn. We're gonna let it burn. When the lights turn down, they don't know what they heard. Strike the march, play it loud, giving love to the world. We can light it up, so they can't put it out. We can light it up, so they can't put it out. We can light it up, so they can't put it out. We can light it up, so they can't put it out. When the lights turning down, they don't know what they heard. Strike the march, play it loud, giving love to the world. We'll be raising our hands, shining up to the sky. 'Cause we got the fire. Yeah, we got the fire. And we're gonna let it burn. We're gonna let it burn. Gonna let it burn. We're gonna let it burn. When the lights turn down, they don't know what they heard. Strike the march, play it loud, giving love to the world. We'll be raising our hands, shining up to the sky.
Wenige Minuten noch, meine sehr geehrten Damen und Herren, bis zum entscheidenden zweiten Umlauf. FEI Nations Cup Young Rider Linz 2024. Es wird nach dem ersten Umlauf die österreichische Equipe mit 8 Punkten, gefolgt auf Rang 2 Italien 8, Rang 3 Deutschland 12, Rang 4 Polen 12 und auf dem 5. Rang liegt die Schweiz mit 18 Punkten nach dem ersten Umlauf.
Hello everybody, welcome back. Here we go. It's time for this, the second round of our final Nations Cup here for the FEI Nations Cup Youth Series. The young riders completing this quartet of international team jumping for some of the great young talent in our sport. And it's finally poised coming back here across these 5 teams with Austria, the home nation, and Italy, who've already had a win in the juniors today, both tied at the front on a score of 8, but they're only 1 fence ahead of Germany and Poland, who sit on 12 apiece, and even Switzerland have not fallen too far back there on a score of 18, despite the fact they only have 3 riders, the Swiss team. So we're in fact in this rotation, the opening rotation, going to miss out Switzerland. They'll join in when we get into that second rotation of riders. And we start with Poland, the first of the team, Alexandra Kironowska riding Iron Man, who picked up an 8 penalty score in that opening round, is the first to go. Of course, again, remaining the same. Madame France's track has a total of 15 different jumping efforts and a time allowed of 80 seconds. As you can tell, the weather's certainly not improved after a beautiful day here yesterday. The heavens have certainly been coming down today. It's been very, very wet. Well, that wall causing trouble for them a little earlier, and it's done the same again. This time even bigger trouble because it's elimination, sadly, for the first of the Polish team, and that for a team that were pushing on. And a combination there of Alexandra and Ironman, who were a counting score in that opening round. The team sadly unable to count on it for the second round. For the moment, they will still believe they can try to finish on that score of 12 that they're currently on, but it's certainly going to be more difficult going forward. Well, the next to go, it's Germany, and this is Moritz Baum, all in 10. 4 penalties for these two in the opening round of jumping an hour or so ago. Germany, who were tied with Poland on that score of 12, will know they're only a fence behind the lead, and will, I'm sure, be thinking forward, trying to put a bit of pressure on Italy and Austria. under the water. He's putting a really strong round. He's taking Germany forward. If he can jump this last, which he's done, he's put Germany on the front foot to try and push for the top step of the podium. Lovely jump in. I mean, tiniest of tiny rubs going into that double. But I think they'll be delighted with the way it's all started off. So Moritz Bomb there jumps the clear. Germany looking to the top. Now the pressure moves across to the first of the riders for Italy, although certainly didn't show pressure with their performance in that opening round, with a beautiful clear round from these two. Looking therefore for a double clear is Laura Nicole Boni and Mocca 43. The Italian team, as I've said, and Austria tied on 8 apiece. Oh, they just tucked that back rail coming out of the combination. Just catching it behind, and it's one of those rubs that can go either way. It's a really nice partnership, these two. Well, with the score doubled up, 8 as they come to the last. Jumping to finish from a clear in round 1 to 2 down in round 2. Not the start Italy would have needed or wanted, but for the moment they know they can still perhaps try to finish where they started, but that was certainly one of the stronger combinations. It shows again the difference from one round to the next. It is so easy for things to change in Nations Cup competition. Austria, again, with a partnership that jumped clear. It was Austria's one clear round from their team in the opening round, so the next with a chance for a double clear is Elizabeth Canus and Cancun 18. So far so good as she comes around to this tricky plank going into the double, though. Just trying to balance the horse up. Nicely jumped in, nicely jumped out, and getting closer. Now the water really putting the leg on. Round they come to this final fence. And you can see she's just struggling a bit for control, but the horse jumps in anyway. And Agadou is playing with a clear round for the Austrian team, who now get the double clear round as well. The first of those in this Nations Cup competition for the young riders. It goes to the Austrian Pathfinder, Elizabeth Canus there, and Cancun 18. So 2 clears so far out of the first rotation of riders. But that brings the Swiss into play, and another rider that went clear in that opening round, because the Swiss, who had 2 out of their 3 go clear, but it left them on a team score of 18 with problems for their middle rider. So this is Jonas Tufinier riding Canan, or Cana I perhaps should say. Well, they're on the 8, coming round to the last. At an 8, they know that'll count, and just sadly just drops the score that little bit further down, because 26 now for the Swiss team.
71.15 seconds for Switzerland. Und jetzt für Polen Nico Gold, geritten von Natalia Sido, representing Poland.
Well, Natalia Sido now. This for Poland. And of course, with that surprising, shocking elimination from their first rider, of course, now, I guess in the same boat the Swiss are. They're relying on the final 3. These two picked up a score of 4 in the opening round. And down goes the middle of the combination. Well, this is going to move the Polish team onto a score of 20 currently, but there's still this double, the water and the last. Nico Gold, Natalia Sido keeping their calm. And finishing on the 8. So it is a score of 20 for Poland currently. Keeps them still that 6 penalty score ahead of Switzerland. So for the moment, though, of course, dropping backwards with the round so far, whereas Germany are looking to go forwards, having started on the 12, 1 fence behind the leaders. They got the clear with their first rider. Now the turn of Sofia Botrov riding Jazz Din. This partnership, though, were the discard in the opening round. And down it goes. Still, Germany will know they've got the safety net. The clear round was so important for their first rider. Well, 16 is an improvement from the opening round, but still needing more from the rounds then still to come from the German team. We do know there was a clear from their next rider, but it is 16. So for the moment, Germany remain on that 12 penalty score where they started as a best potential outcome. 2 more to go in this second rotation of riders. And bell already ringing for the Italian partnership of Lorenzo Patrese and Gentleman H. 12 penalties from round 1 was the discard, but they already sadly have an 8 to deal with. So to try and maintain their presence as joint leaders with Austria, they need things to work for these two. is a 4. I mentioned that counts, in fact, to the 8, of course, now. So Lorenzo Petresi and Gentleman H. So Italy actually now fall behind Germany. Let's finish this round and we'll come to that. Get through the double. Well, it is at the end of it all a score of 12. That will move into the discard slot, which means the 8 from their opening rider comes into play for Italy. So that is a score of 16. It keeps them ahead of Poland, but it means Germany, for the moment at least, although they're holding their own 16 penalty discard, but for the moment at least, they do move ahead of the Italian team. And it opens up a bit of a window to allow Austria a chance. David Gorthen Hulgereff now at Esprit. These two who scored 4 in the opening round will be quite aware of the fact that here at home Austria have got a real chance, but that chance just became more difficult. But for the moment they can, well, whatever happens after a clear from their first rider, they get to keep a 0 as a score in this round, potentially, with 8 overall. And completes this on 4, it'll go a long way. I know he'll have wanted the clear. He's repeated the score from the first round. It keeps Austria on a best outcome potentially of 8, but also importantly, in terms of discards that teams are holding, it is significantly lower because, well, we know that Switzerland and Poland don't have that luxury anymore. Germany holding a discard of 16, Italy 12, and Austria 4. But in terms of best potential scores, it's 8, 12, 16, 20, and 26 for our teams as it stands. Austria leading the way from Germany, Italy, Poland, and Switzerland. And it's back with the Swiss, Ruben Beck. Ruben up next with Conoco. After the troubles with the wall in the opening round where they ended up having an issue, they certainly had no trouble in the second round. Ruben Beck here, Conoco getting a little deep there, but now he's just got to keep the rhythm down, which he has to 9. His score of 18 was what set the Swiss team back from the first round, but he's certainly making amends with the way he's riding this round. Really well done. Oh, superb recovery from the first round to deliver a clear in the second round. Well done, Switzerland. Well done there to Ruben Beck and Conoco. 26 they remain on for the moment. Just stops them sliding back any further. And, you know, with the way it's situated, you could still suddenly turn it into a podium. If they have to count some of the teams, those current discards, then it would put a different spin on the current order at the moment. Now, Lina Marazak riding Getulon van der Tivien. This was the Polish clear in the opening round. Poland, though, knowing all their scores are currently counting after that elimination from their first rider. So on the 4, make that 8. So carrying the 12. So they finish on a total of 12. That moves the team on to 32. Again, you see it's dropped them behind the Swiss with that mark. So that was Lina Masakra there, riding for Poland.
Geritten von Sebastian Honold, representing Germany. 12 aus dem ersten Umlauf, 0 und 16.
Sebastian Honold now, and Lacrosse 10. This will be pivotal for the German team, as this was the combination that jumped the clear in the opening round, and they know they've got that 16 penalty discard they're holding on to. They've benefited from a clear from their first rider, but they are the team most likely to put the pressure on Austria at the top. But to do that, they really need to bring the clear together with this round. And that has gone, and that has gone. So suddenly, Germany moving backwards, fall to a score of 20, because with a 16 discard, these fencers are counting. That in fact now reverses the order currently with Italy, although Italy's still got their third rider to go, and they've got their own big discard to worry about. Well, such a shame for Sebastian. He put in such a consummate performance in the opening round. Sadly, in this round, he comes home on a total of 12, and all 12 count to move the team onto a score of 24, and that brings the Swiss into play for a potential podium here, because they are now only 2 penalties behind Germany, and of course, still that 16 is the discard. But the 12 has had to count for the German team there from Sebastian Holder and Lacrosse. Next to go is the Italian team. They, with an 8 and a 12 so far, have had to move on to a score of 16. They haven't found it easy in this second round after a share of the lead when it started. Tommaso Arica now and Heavy Plot go next. It's a combination that also were one of Italy's clears in that opening round, so still will be hoping for a double clear. We've only actually seen one double clear so far. And that was from Austria's Elizabeth Canis and Cancan 18. that goes. Doesn't help the Italians, does it? Moves their score on to a total of 20. And again, the chance of a double clear slides away as that brick comes out the wall. Well, by the end of it all, 8 and 8 to count. So that will move them onto a score of 24 as well. It actually, with the way that's worked out, actually Italy and Germany, although Germany were ahead after 2 riders, although Italy started ahead, they're now actually level pegging. What it's done is open the door for the Austrian team. Now, there is a potential ability for Austria, I'm just looking at the maths here, to win it with this round, because they're holding a current discard of 4. They sit on 8, so if you add the 4, that makes the 12, which gives them, they can go out of here on 16 or 20, 2 fences down, and Hannah Egger will win it with 2 down. 3 down, and it'll just take it over into the next round of horses. But that's as things stand from the way I see it. We'll see what she does. After all, she did pick up 8 in the opening round. And we've seen how easy it is. Perhaps how it isn't easy to be able to deliver the clear on this second round of jumping. Just like that, the fence does go. But at the moment, she still would be okay. Like I was saying, whatever happens here, it can still be held as a discard. All it's done at the moment is guarantee them a score of 12 as a best potential outcome. Now it moves them, well, if they had to count it, to a score of 20, but it would move as a discard score, so it will leave them on the 12. It's just riding a little bit under the pressure of knowing what was needed. This is where the test will come now with this plank going into the double. She's gone very wide. Time allowed is quite generous on this course. Jumps in and out of the double. Lands over the water. Time looks fine. Well, she might get a time penalty here, but that shouldn't matter. She's done it. It is 9 as a score, but even if you add 9 and 4 together, that by my reckoning gets you to 13. Add 8 from the first round would make 21. With the other team's best landing in on 24, I see no reason to say that Austria have won it and will stand on top of the podium here at the end of this final rotation of riders. So here we go with this final rotation to wrap it all up. The Swiss know they need to complete here, and they're still pushing towards the podium. If they can get the clear they got out of these 2 in the opening round, that is still a strong possibility. So this is their final rider, Thierry Wagner riding Chico Bonito, Jacko Blue-Gelding. Well, this has been a Nations Cup short of double clears, but it's got a double clear with the performance. And what a great performance. Thierry Wagner delivering the double clear for the Swiss team. In fact, it gives them 2 clears in this round. It means they will finish on a final total of 26 there for Switzerland, I believe. Or was it 30? If I missed a...
7 seconds.
Yeah, sorry, apologies, it is 30. So 30 the score.
Es sind am Ende 30 Punkte für das Team der Schweiz in 216,92 Sekunden. The total score for Switzerland 30 points, 216.
Poland up next.
Seconds. Der Schlusspaar für Polen, non mit Kornen, Nikolai Baranski, representing Poland.
So the Polish rider, Nikolai Brozanski with Kornan. The Polish team sadly cannot, in my view, finish ahead now of Switzerland. These two picked up a discard score in the opening round. And again, seeing a fence fall. Right, round they come. Certainly an improvement over their opening round for the anchor rider of the Polish team. Looking a lot more comfortable. Riding with a little bit of pace down to the water. Gets a nice stretch out over that. Of course, he scored 20 in the opening round. And whatever happens, this is going to count though. And that going, so it is a total of 8, so that brings the team to their finish on
Penalty 72.32 seconds.
a final score, of 4 penalties. I don't know why it's showing 8. I've got one thing on monitor, one thing here. No, it was the 8. 2 monitors saying 2 different things. So it is a score of 40 for Poland, and that, as I say, brings them home in 5th place of the 5 teams. Germany, though, trying to find 2nd rather than 3rd on the podium here this afternoon.
Representing Germany.
Carlotta Terhost and Chakalaka T. Germany still trying to keep their 16 penalty discarded from the score. Germany know they need the clear because they know then that any fence that falls for Italy will allow them to move up a slot and take 2nd place here this afternoon. And they've got their clear. Carlotta Terhorst and Chakalaka delivers the clear for Germany as their last rider out and secures that score of 24 for the German team. So brilliantly done from them to put the pressure now on the Italian team, who are holding a 12 penalty discard, but they're on 24 as well. It's got to be a clear, to stand a chance against Germany with the clock.
205,99 Sekunden. The total score for Germany after the second round, 24 points, 215.99.
So this is Martina Simoni riding Berardo. We had 8 in the opening round.
Wir starten nun mit Bayardo, Martina Simoni representing Italy.
They lost their rhythm coming off that corner, and with it they lose out to Germany. What they can't really want or don't want is another fence, because then they might lose out a little more. I know that the Swiss team are lurking, but they can afford a couple of time penalties, can they? Or no, they can't, because that means they move on to a score of 30, and in fact the time is going to be much slower than the Swiss team, and that's brought the Swiss back up into third. So Italy, from a share of the lead at the start of the round, sadly lose out come the end of the round. And well, what a day it has been for Austria. Across these 4 Nations Cup competitions, they come out on top and win at home here in the Young Riders. A superb performance from their quartet to take the top spot. Congratulations, Austria. A fabulous result here, and what a brilliant set of competitions we've seen here in Linz. Thank you for being here to enjoy it all. We'll leave you enjoy the presentation. Celebrate here with the team in Austria. Thank you.
Es wird ein Ergebnis korrigiert von Deutschland, Chakalaka D. Fehler am Wassergraben. Somit insgesamt für das deutsche Team 28 Punkte. The correct result for Germany in total 28 points. Es gewinnt den FEI Nations Cup der Young Rider Österreich mit 21 Punkten, gefolgt auf dem zweiten Rang mit 28 Punkten Das Team aus Deutschland und Rang 3 mit 30 Punkten für das Team der Schweiz.
She said, don't you worry if I disappear. I told her I'm not really looking for another mistake. I called an old friend thinking that the trouble would wait, but then I jumped right in. A week later returned. I reckon she was only looking for a lover to burn, but I gave her my time for 2 or 3 nights. Then I put it on pause until the moment was right. I went away 4 months until our paths crossed again. She told me I was never looking for a friend. Maybe you could swing by my room around 10. Baby, bring the lemon and a bottle of gin. We'll be in between the sheets till the late AM. Baby, if you wanted me, then you should have just said she's singing. Don't lie with my love. That heart is so cold, all over my own. I don't wanna know that, babe. Don't lie with my love. I told her she knows. Take aim and reload. I don't wanna know that, babe. Weeks, I only wanna see her. We drink away the days with a takeaway pizza. Before a text message was the only way to reach her. Now she's staying at my place and loves the way I treat her. Singing out Aretha all over the track like a feature. And never wants to sleep, I guess that I don't want to either. But me and her, we make money the same way. 4 cities, 2 planes the same day. And those shows have never been what it's about. But maybe we'll go together and just figure it out. I'd rather put on a film with you and sit on the couch. But we should get on a plane or we'll be missing it now. Wish I'd have written it down, the way that things played out. When she was kissing him, how I was confused about. Now she should figure it out while I'm sat here singing. Don't lie with my love. That heart is so cold, all over my own. I don't want
Das, meine sehr geehrten Damen und Herren, ist die Siegerehrung im FEI Jumping Nations Cup Youth der Young Riders in Linz-Ebelsberg. Die ersten 3 Teams, meine sehr geehrten Damen und Herren, haben Aufstellung genommen und wir dürfen bitten, die Reiterinnen und Reiter abzusitzen. Please dismount. Und hinter dem jeweiligen Podium Platz zu nehmen, die Schweiz bitte auf 3. Hinter dem Podium bitte Platz nehmen. Die Pfleger halten die Pferde, so sieht das Protokoll vor. Auf dem 3. Rang, meine sehr geehrten Damen und Herren, lediglich mit 3 Teilnehmerinnen und Teilnehmern, mit Jonas Tiefenauer, Ruben Beck und Thierry Wagner, mit Chef d'Equipe Conny Notz, das Team Schweiz-Switzerland. Liebe Conny, deine Reiter dürfen dich in die Mitte nehmen. Auf dem 2. Rang Moritz Baum, Sophia Burgtorf, Sebastian Honold und Carlotta Terhorst mit dem Equipenchef. Wir gratulieren Deutschland, Germany. Meine Damen und Herren, und eines freut es uns natürlich jetzt ganz, ganz besonders, Ihnen die siegreiche Mannschaft vorstellen zu dürfen mit den Reiterinnen und Reitern Elisabeth Knaus, David Gorton-Hülgert, Hanna Eggerer und Thomas Himmelmeier und Chef d'Equipe Ulrich Kirchhoff, das Team Österreich, Austria. Und an dieser Stelle, meine Damen und Herren, dürfen wir Sie bitten, sich zu erheben von Ihren Plätzen zu Ehren der siegreichen Mannschaft. Ertönt die Hymne unserer Heimat. So, Ladies and Gentlemen, may I ask you to rise for the anthem of Austria. Gratulation, das Team Österreich. Die offiziellen Glückwünsche, meine sehr geehrten Damen und Herren, beziehungsweise als erster bitten wir den Sponsor der Prüfung, Herr Udo Schisté, bitte die Siegerehrung vorzunehmen. Und wir beginnen beim 3. Platz. In Vertretung des Weltreiterverbandes der Foreign Judge des Turniers, Herr Bruno Laubscher, und für den oberösterreichischen Pferdesportverband, Herr Richard Kriechbaumer. Gratuliere noch einmal der Schweiz mit Jonas Tiefenauer, Ruben Beck und Thierry Wagner mit Chef d'Equipe Conny Notz zu Rang 3. Zu Rang 2 Peter Teuben, dem Equipchef mit Moritz Baum, Sophia Burgtorf, Sebastian Honold und Carlotta Terhorst, das Team Deutschland. Und wir kommen zum siegreichen Team. Mit Elisabeth Knaus, David Gorton-Hülgert, Hanna Eggerer und Thomas Himmelmeier. Equipchef Uli Kirchhoff, das Team Österreich. Gratulation! Das war sie schon fast, die Siegerehrung. Auf geht's auf die Pferde, so please remount. So wie es aussieht, meine Damen und Herren, haben alle Reiterinnen und Reiter wieder ihre Plätze in den Sättel eingenommen. Und nun gratulieren wir noch einmal der siegreichen Mannschaft der Österreich und den Platzierten mit einem Applaus auf der abschließenden Ehrenrunde, der Lap of Honor. Sind sie, die Österreicher. Gefolgt vom Team Deutschland und der Schweiz. Und da kommen sie noch einmal, hoffentlich. Ja, die Mauer wollen sie nicht alle. Elisabeth Knaus, David Gorton-Hülgert, Hanna Eggerer und Thomas Himmelmeier, die siegreiche Equipe Österreich.
Ja, meine sehr geehrten